For so many of us, the big shift to working from home has been, well, a roller coaster. At first, it probably felt like we'd hit the jackpot, right? No commute, more flexibility. But as time has gone on, many people have been finding that the dream has gotten a little complicated. It's become a daily battle against distractions, a surprising sense of loneliness, and a motivation level that just seems to have packed its bags and left. So let's just pause for a second and ask a really honest question. Is your current setup, your home office, your kitchen table, wherever you've been working, is it really working for you? Or have you been feeling like you're constantly swimming upstream, struggling to find that deep focus that maybe used to come a bit more easily when you were in a different environment? I think we've all lived this slide, haven't we? The expectation was just golden. Freedom, comfort, wearing pajamas all day. But the reality that has set in for a lot of us is different. The freedom has sometimes turned into a sea of distractions. The comfort of home has blurred the boundaries between our work life and our personal life until they're almost non-existent. And let's be real, that short walk to the kitchen has become the most dangerous commute of all. The fridge is always calling. Okay, but here's where things start to turn around. And if you take away just one single idea from this whole explainer, I really want it to be this one. The good news, the really fantastic news, is that productivity is not some kind of magic. It isn't a personality trait that you're either born with or you're not. It is a skill. And just like learning to play the guitar or speak a new language, it's something you can absolutely develop and get better at with the right strategies and a little bit of practice. All right, so how do we actually start building that skill? Well, we've broken it down into a clear roadmap. We're going to start with a reality check, which we've just done. Then we'll dive into mastering your environment, your time, and your mindset. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a really crucial philosophy: progress, not perfection. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about your environment. This is a pillar we so often underestimate, but it is absolutely fundamental. The physical space you're in has a huge, direct impact on your mental space. You simply can't expect a focused mind in a chaotic environment. So, how do we build a space for focus? It's all about sending clear signals to your brain. See, our brains are powerful association machines. If you've been working from your sofa or your bed, you're teaching your brain to associate that relaxation space with work stress. It's a recipe for disaster. The fix is to create a dedicated work zone. It doesn't have to be a whole room. Even just one corner of a table will do. The key is that when you're there to work. And when you leave, you're leaving work behind. Clear it of clutter, maybe add a plant. You are literally designing a psychological trigger for focus. And it really all boils down to this simple idea. It's like putting on a uniform. When you organize your physical environment, when your desk looks like a place where work happens, you're sending an undeniable cue to your brain. You're priming your mind to say, okay, I see this space, I know what to do here. It's time to get down to business. All right, so you've set up your space. That's your foundation. Now, let's build on that with our second pillar, mastering your time. And this is a huge one, because we've all been trapped in the mindset that productivity means working more and more hours. But it's not about working nonstop. It's about working wisely. It's about managing your energy within the hours you have. Now, you've probably heard of the Pomodoro technique, but there's a reason it's so popular. It actually works with your brain's biology, not against it. Our brains aren't designed for 8 straight hours of deep focus. They're designed for sprints. This technique creates a rhythm. 25 minutes of intense single-task focus. No emails, no phone, followed by a short 5-minute break to recharge. Those breaks aren't a sign of weakness. They are absolutely essential. They're what prevent mental fatigue and allow you to come back to the next sprint feeling refreshed and sharp.
But here's the catch, and this is so important. What you do on your break matters a lot. Have you ever taken a 5-minute break to scroll through social media only to feel even more drained and distracted afterward? Yep, me too. That's because it's not a real break. It's just a different kind of stimulation. A smart break is something that actually lets your mind rest. Get up, stretch, walk around, look out a window, drink a glass of water. It's about disconnecting for a moment so you can come back truly recharged. Okay, this brings us to what I think is the most important piece of the puzzle. The engine that drives everything else. Your mindset. You can have the most beautiful, organized office and the most perfectly structured schedule in the world, but if your head's not in the game, you're still going to struggle. Let's talk about the big one, procrastination. We've all been there, but here is the critical mindset shift you need to make. Procrastination is not a character flaw. You are not lazy. Procrastination is an emotional response. We put things off because the task makes us feel something we don't want to feel. Maybe it's overwhelming. Maybe it's boring. Maybe we're afraid of failing. Your brain is just trying to protect you from that discomfort. Once you understand that, you can stop beating yourself up and start addressing the real root of the problem.
So if procrastination is the problem, what's the solution? It's this beautiful idea right here. For years, most of us have been waiting for motivation to strike like a lightning bolt before we get started, but we've had it completely backwards. Motivation isn't the cause of action, it's the result of action. The tiniest step forward creates a little bit of energy, a little spark. That spark makes the next step easier, and that is how you build momentum. So the next time you feel stuck, frozen, unable to start, I want you to ask yourself this incredibly powerful question. Don't think about the entire terrifying project. Just ask, what is one tiny, ridiculously small task that I have been avoiding that I can do right now? Seriously, what's the 2-minute version? Is it just opening the file, writing one single sentence, replying to one email? That one small act of starting is often enough to break the spell of procrastination and get the momentum machine rolling. Okay, and this leads us to our final section, which is the mindset that ties everything together. This is the philosophy that makes all these other strategies sustainable for the long haul. It's the secret to being productive without burning out. This is everything. So many of us are trapped by perfectionism. We think we need the perfect plan, the perfect mood, the perfect day to get started. But that's just a fantasy. A productive life isn't built on a few flawless days. It's built on hundreds and thousands of good enough days. It's about consistency. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it and just moving the ball forward an inch. That's what leads to real, meaningful results over time. So let's wrap this all up into your takeaway toolkit. First, master your environment. Designate a specific work zone to signal to your brain it's time to focus. Second, master your time. Work in focused sprints like the Pomodoro, and take smart breaks that actually recharge you.
Third, master your mindset. Remember that action creates motivation, so just take one small step. And finally, your overarching goal. Aim for consistency and progress, not an impossible standard of perfection. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Looking at everything we've covered today, the space, the time, the mindset, what is one small, manageable habit you're willing to build starting tomorrow? Don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one thing. Maybe it's clearing your desk at the end of the day. Maybe it's trying one Pomodoro cycle. Because that one small habit, that single commitment to progress, is where your new, more focused, and more balanced way of working truly begins.